7 Taoist Masters is a manual of Taoist training written in the form of a popular novel. The Taoist Sage 西真史传第1回卷上，怜贫困偶失彻也。
好，咱即摆要讲这个七经书传吼，这个七经书传吼是咱
电视与网络弘法节目，道场即在家里，让您透过电视与我们一同修真。弘法节目急需您的赞助，我们的划拨账号是户名陈文宪，邮局代号700-1440-0611-01010。全真仙宗道场昆源观，地址桃园县平镇市环南路2段27号6楼，电话0328111154。
Charitable deeds are not meant to be a public performance. If you display compassion in order to show others your virtue, then your actions are empty of meaning, no matter how much you give to the poor. If you are doing it only to impress others, it is not charity. During the Song dynasty in 7zE province, there was a small village of some 100 residents called Dawei. Most of the villagers belonged to the one clan. In this clan was a widow about 40 years old. She had a son and daughter, but now both had married and left home. This woman had a kindly and maternal nature, and would treat all the children in the village as her own. She gave them food and gifts, and would comfort them if they were hurt. All the children knew that if they needed help, they could call on her. Her kindness was so well known that the villagers called her Mother Wang. Mother Wang was also quite wealthy and deeply religious. She invited Buddhist and Taoist monks to her home for vegetarian dinners, gave sizable donations to the monasteries, and chanted the sutras regularly. Even beggars and orphans from neighboring villages would come to her for help. One winter, it was unusually cold. Snow fell in thick drifts on the ground, and the wind blew hard. The streets were deserted. The entire village seemed desolate. One cold, dark evening, 2 beggars arrived at the home of Mother Wang, asking for food and shelter. When Mother Wang saw them, she said, "You are young and strong. Why are you begging? Why can't you find an honest trade instead of living off the charity of others? If you expect help from me, you must be out of your mind." Scarcely had she finished talking to the beggars when a Buddhist and a Taoist monk arrived, asking for rice and vegetables. Immediately, Mother Wang sent a servant to fill the begging bowls of monks and with food. When the monks had left, the 2 beggars asked Mother Wang, "Kind lady, why is it that you gave food to the monks and not to us?" Mother Wang replied, "I gladly attend to the needs of monks, because although I give them a bowl of rice and vegetables, in return they give me more, The Buddhist monk can chant for me, so that no disasters befall me. The Taoist monk can teach me methods of prolonging life. But you, what can I get in return for helping you? The beggar said, if your compassion and charity are sincere, you will give without expecting anything in return. If you expect to get something out of what you give, then it is not true charity. All this time, your charitable deeds have been either a show for others to see, or an investment in the hope of obtaining long life and prosperity. After saying these words, the beggars left. By now, night had fallen and the snow was falling more heavily. The two beggars reached the outskirts of the village, where dwellings were sparse. They came to a house with a large brick door and called loudly to the master of the house. After a while, footsteps were heard and the door opened. The beggars found themselves standing in front of a tall, bearded man about 40 years old. Although middle-aged, the man was of strong physique and appeared to have the bearing of one well trained in the martial arts. This man was named Wang Xiaolian. In his youth, he had studied the classics and had aspired to become a government official. However, he had repeatedly failed the civil service examinations and became disillusioned with scholarly pursuits. Subsequently, he abandoned the study of the classics and trained himself in the martial arts, becoming a knight who championed the cause of the poor and oppressed. On this winter night, he and his wife, son, and servants were roasting meat in front of the fire when the beggars knocked on his door. Wang Xiaolian saw the two beggars standing in the snow with thin clothing and bare feet. Immediately he said, "The night is cold, and you are at the edge of the village. You will not find another house nearby. No one should be traveling in this storm, let alone you who have no shoes and no winter coats. Why don't you come in with me? I have a guest room where you can spend the night and wait until the storm is over before you continue your way." The beggars were delighted and thanked Wang many times. Wang led them to the guest room and ordered his servants to bring in warm blankets and a hot meal. The beggars stayed at Wang's home for 2 days while the storm raged outside. On the third day, the snow stopped and the weather warmed. The two beggars decided it was time to leave, but as they were leaving their room, they saw Wang approaching them, followed by a servant bearing a tray of food and wine. "I have been busy taking care of some business the last 2 days and did not give you the hospitality that you as guests should receive. Today, I would like to eat and drink and talk freely with you." The beggars accepted his invitation gladly, and the three of them drank and ate and talked like old friends. When much had been said and much drunk, one asked his two guests, "Why are you beggars? Is it because you lost your money, or were you cheated by unscrupulous people? What skills do you have?